Okay, so I have some weird random stuff. Like this thing. I decided I'm gonna go closer. I was watching some videos today about it was about astrology stuff I'll talk about in a second. But so now I keep noticing like where people put their cameras and stuff. And there's people that were like way up, like because the top of their forehead would be gone. And then they would be there's a lot that I feel like that they take up this much space. And there's like usually some kind of picture or something behind them, or a picture here, or bookshelf. That's popular. But it seems like that a lot of people come up and are more like this. And I was like, well, maybe that's better because then I can move my little table way closer. I thought, maybe it was nicer to have something to look at, besides just the person. And, listening to me talk. I mean, at this point, if you are listening to me, you've got to like listening to me talk because that's all I do. I don't do anything else. It's one of my favorite things to do. But the thing that was interesting too in the astrology ones is that it was about the sun, moon, and rising. And what I had been noticing a lot lately is that every time that I would listen to a Sagittarius one, it was completely like going exactly with my life. And I'm Sagittarius ascending. So, and I'm Cancer. I guess it is what you're born into, whatever that month is, that's your sun sign. So that's what everybody always knows, their sun sign. But so your moon, I won't say it right. It's probably where the moon was in alignment. And then the ascending is where it was rising in the east. So you have to have your birth time and your city and state, wherever, longitude, latitude kind of thing, and the time. And then it will tell you the other two. And so there was a lot of explanation about it. So the sun, I like this one girl, what she said, because she said the sun is like your outline of who you are. Because I had a lot of things that as a Cancer, I was like, I'm very much, I'm homebody. I like to be, I don't need a crowd to feel good or anything. I like to cook. I love to cook. Yesterday, I keep making this stuff that is so good. Yesterday, I was like, okay, I got to thank the energy that brings me these skills to cook this stuff because it's fucking good. Okay, so then the moon. See, I was lost on the moon thing, I guess. And I'm a moon in Libra, and I don't even know that much about that sign, but it doesn't seem to have as much significance. It is kind of like your dark side, maybe, she said. I can't remember. You'd have to look her up, or look up other ones. But then the ascending, that is what colors you in. That's what makes you who you are. If this is annoying that it's this close, then somebody can always just tell me. I don't know. Because now I'll probably just keep looking at myself more. I gotta get it aligned. I do still have some type A. Didn't like completely sterilize it out of me. It just made a lot of stuff when I got my brain injury. It made a lot of stuff that I thought was important seem very unimportant. It's like, why do we hold on to such stupid stuff sometimes, But anyways, back to the thing. So the ascending is more about your thing, of who you are and your mission and stuff. And I had seen another person talking about it, and they were saying your ascending sign, that will give you more of a blueprint of who you are, what you're here for, your purpose and stuff like that. And, even if you think like astrology and stuff is like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, there's something to it. There's something to how the moons and planets and stuff align. And if you start looking into it for yourself about your own self, you will find that there's stuff that is real about it. It's not just a bunch of mumbo jumbo nonsense. There's significance to it. And oh, and then also there was a few things, because I remembered after I stopped the last one, which I'm having so many problems with downloading. Sometimes the downloading is just is weird. It will download it in different, it's weird. But when I was talking about the dog thing, you know, and a dog getting so attached to you, you know, and to them, you know, who knows what their perception is of master, or, you know, what you are to them. You're very significant, you know, you're everything to your dog or cat. I'm not as much a cat person. I like cats. I'm not a cat hater. I'm just, I get more out of the dog relationship. But, you know, that it means something to them. You're important to them. And so when I was together with him, I probably have talked about this before, but so we got this rescue dog, and the guy, it had just been him and his dog for this dog's entire life. It was just him and his dog, and he took his dog everywhere. And then he got a girlfriend with a little kid, so he just gave the dog away. And it really affected the dog. It was just really, really sad. And Jim could never, he never really could try, like he had a problem with feminine energy. And so then I was like, man, I don't know, you know, when that girl moved in, if she was so scared of him, because he was big, he was scary looking. He was part Mastiff. He was really, really cool looking dog. The guy had found him. There was like a litter, a wild litter, some litter that was just left somewhere. And it was one of them. And he was part Mastiff, and he was super cool looking, because he was like thin, and he had a bunch of different colors, because like his legs were polka dotted, and then he had other markings. He was really a very individual looking guy. But he had like a coldness in his eyes, like, don't fuck with me. And he would growl, and, you know, and he would warn you. He never like bit me or anything, but like if I tried to give him a bath and stuff, he was like, fuck that. He always let me know he didn't like me. But my husband at the time, oh my gosh, he was so protective of him. I loved him. And I feel like I've talked about this before, because he was epileptic, and and I had a swimming pool at the time. This is before I lost everything. Yeah, because yeah, it was when I was together. I got the brain injury. This is how whacked out I was. I got the brain injury as I was ending a relationship. And then I was already in another one by the time I was diagnosed. I think it was one of those people who just, I didn't like have to be with somebody to break up with somebody, but there was just always another one there, another one there. It was like, fuck. It was like a conveyor belt of men. There's always one that's there ready to grab hold. And, you know, these years that I've been single, I've really gotten to know myself. And, you know, I like myself better than most of the people I've been with liked me at all. They always wanted to change me. And this is where I get the idea of, like, if you like the shell, but you don't like what's inside, don't take the shell and then try and change what's inside. The shell it's just a shell. You know, and you've got to see what's inside. That's what you got to fall in love with. And there's still a lot of people that are that they don't do that. They are very I don't know, visual and cut off from their spiritual. I don't know. But anyways, it's important. You need to like what's on the inside more than what you like on the outside. Just a little thing for a lot of guys. Okay, so also, okay, so Jim, the dog, I felt really, really bad when that guy just, I saw how it affected him his whole life. And then And then my ex took him when he went, and I didn't get to see him. And it's been something that has like tugged at my heart for ever since. And I just feel like when Winston passed, Winston went to go be with Jim. That's what I feel like. Because I feel like the ex did not, I just feel like it probably wasn't a good outcome for Jim in the long run. It makes me really sad. But, speaking of gyms, so I don't know, I keep getting a whole bunch of gym videos popping up, Jim Carrey motivational speaking videos popping up. It's like there's a whole bunch of people posting these motivational speeches or something, because I keep having a bunch pop up and all these different things. Some of them I've heard like bits and pieces of the same speech, I think, and some I've heard, I don't even know if I've heard the whole speech yet, but a lot of people have different parts, and some people put clips of him talking, and then some people put just like, I don't know, they do like a little, whatever he's talking about, they show it, you know, in a scene. One I even saw where somebody draws everything as he says it. But anyways, there's a whole bunch. And I really liked a lot of the stuff that he was talking about. And I feel like, you know, I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy. But I feel like he understands things kind of on the same level I do, like on this, some of the stuff he was talking about. Anyways, those were really good. And it seemed like there was something specifically I wanted to talk about in one of them. What was it? I always get way too many things that I start talking about, and I start forgetting everything I'm talking about. Because there was more things too. And since I did my other videos so early in the morning now, it's only noon. This is quiet. I was watching this guy. I like this guy. I found him at the beginning of the quarantine, and his name is Carl Vernon, and he's a British guy. He's really funny, and the stuff he says about like things, you know, and just the ridiculousness of it. I just like, he points out the ridiculousness of everything, and he's funny. So if you look him up, he's at the beginning, I would watch him like every day. He would put like a 5 or 6 minute thing, and it would always like make me chuckle, and I would be, oh, it just puts you in a better mood. So it's Carl Vernon, Vernon, I think, but his are funny. Any of the Jim Carrey, I mean, there's like a zillion of those right now. So unless they're old, and I just got in one of those things where they just keep sending you a whole bunch, because I got a lot. And what was the other thing I was gonna talk about? There's been so many things, because some of the movies, those popped back in my head. One of the movies while I was gone that I watched was this couple who went scuba diving, and then they went, I don't know if it was a third world country kind of place or something. I mean, it was a lot of safety features, it didn't seem, but they went out and they left this one couple out in the middle of the ocean. And I don't even know when. I know this happened in true life. This movie wasn't the true life story. I mean, they kind of were making it seem like it, but at the end, you can always tell because they update you on what's going to go on if it's really a true story. And I know some true stories, you know, they kind of beef them up a little, make them a little more exciting on the boring parts. So you don't ever know like the whole thing, and then everything's by perception or whatever, but they oftentimes make you think, you know. And that one just made me think like, no fucking way am I going to go out on some fucking boat. And that was wacky. Go in the middle of the fucking ocean? No thanks. And then I'm going to go under the water with the sharks and whatever else. Because I believe shit lives in the water. I think we want to think like there's sharks and stuff. But I told you, there's stuff that was living in the forest. There's stuff living down in the deep seas too. I mean, it's been seen, ships coming in and just going into the water. I mean, I think octopuses are aliens. They're smart as shit. They aren't just like, some stupid thing. I've seen where people have caught them and put them in a jar. The octopus can open the jar from the inside and get itself out. That's intelligence, you know? I mean, you just think about us, our size, something being that much bigger than us, putting us inside something and putting us in a captivity of some sort where you have to get up to the top to get yourself out. You have to screw the thing off. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to try and do. And I don't know. I find it fascinating that they would do that. I think that a lot of people would just probably sit down in the jar and piss their pants and wait to be eaten by the giant, because isn't that what we do? We capture these smart creatures and then we eat them. I can't stand to eat octopus anymore, but I'm horrible because I still like calamari. So I don't know. Probably squids are smart too. But I definitely think there's creatures out there. And I think that there's also creatures out there that are from another time and space. They are, what are those called? Like, not actually dinosaur, well, that'd be prehistoric. But no, old things. I don't know, maybe it would be prehistoric. But I'm talking about creatures like the Loch Ness Monster. Like, how old is that guy? I think it's real. I always thought it was real. I used to be fascinated by it when I was little. I'd want to see stuff about it all the time. And I was like, oh man, I got to go find this Loch Ness Monster. I want to see the stuff that is magic. Because I feel it in here. But for some reason, feeling it in here sometimes just doesn't feel like enough. Like, you want to see the magic, you want to see a fairy, you want to see a Loch Ness Monster, a Bigfoot. Wow, so many people can't even believe in Bigfoot. And, they need to see it. I know there's Bigfoot, and I don't really need to see it. But I know there is one. Or there's a bunch, not just one. There's tons. They're a species. They're like we're human beings. They are whatever they are. Sasquatch, that's what we name them. Who knows what they call themselves? I doubt it's Sasquatch. That's kind of rude, isn't it? Sasquatch. Oh no, it sounds kind of rude. I don't know what it means. Maybe it's actually kind of more like an Indian name, Sasquatch, because there's a lot of, like, I live in Washington State, and there's a lot of places that are named I guess, kept the names that Indians named it, or whatever you want to call them, all this stupid fucking shit that they gotta have everybody called a certain thing. American Indian, I guess. I don't know what's appropriate anymore. They change it so much. I don't think I get as easily offended, especially as some whole entire groups. Like, is the whole entire group offended? Like, everybody? Or just the one who wants to start trouble? Like, I think there's plans from the government in all these different groups that they are the ones who are saying, well, we're offended. Change that syrup name. Change that football team. All that bullshit. I don't know. I don't know that any of that shit's real. But there was another thing that I was going to say too. What was it? Still sleeping. That was another reason I was like, she's snoring. I don't have anything to do. I'm sick of trying. I keep changing channels and changing channels. Well, no, not changing channels, because I've been on YouTube watching those things, but I keep like going from thing to thing, like, I'm gonna have to go find a movie. Yesterday I was watching, I watched some of that Travelers, and there were some other things I was like, that's irritating. I don't believe that. One of the things that drives me crazy is when they have whole groups die, and then the whole group of travelers comes in. It's like, well, so if the whole building blew up and everybody got killed, but then these three come out and they're totally different, why doesn't anybody think that's weird? Or are they pretending like these people weren't there? I don't know. There's just too many unanswered things in it that don't make any sense. Oh, but after that, I watched this movie. It was called, it was North Sound or something. I'm horrible with names of things. I should look them up before, but it was this movie, and it was really hard to really understand for sure what the thing was, but there was some kind of a paranormal force. So you couldn't really get, like, were they trying to say it was aliens? Because for a while they were saying that it was a frequency sound coming from the turbines that was making people think and hear things and stuff like that. But then there started being actual phenomena happening, you know, like it was kind of like a magnet would suddenly come on, like this. This is why I think it was like some sort of craft would come and a light would come down that would be like a magnet, and everything would be magnetized and go. And that one, and whatever was this species or being or whatever, they would want, they could inhabit you. Seems like kind of if you were weak, like if you were at a bad place, or you were sick or something like that, they could inhabit you. And then they would get you to feed them. Did you ever see that one movie? I used to love it when I was a kid. That plant, and it would be like, feed me, feed me. And the guy would talk to his plant and stuff, and he would bring them humans and feed the plant these humans. And it would get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That was it. I like that movie. But that's what this thing was kind of like. And it wanted to feed him. So he would keep bringing these things. At one point, he was bringing his niece. It was kind of like, here, you can have her. Because they get kind of in these hypnotic states or something. Creepy. We're dealing with all these hypnotic states right now. Ooh. Hopefully, you know, start just, you know, wrangling us up and feeding us to this being. I mean, that's how creepy this brainwashing thing is. That people just don't, they're just out of their minds. They don't even know what's what. They just believe what they're told. I swear to God, someone could come on the TV and say, get your guns and go and arrest all your neighbors that are, I don't know, maybe they call us white supremacists, or, because that's a big trigger word, or racist, any kind of thing that goes against one of the groups that always has someone in it that is probably from the CIA, really. So anyways, in this movie, I don't really remember what happened, but I like the supernatural stuff. I like to watch the movies that make you think about stuff, because some of it's disclosure, some of it's stuff that's we know for sure, and then some of it is what other people see or think or whatever, their perception. So I find it interesting. I don't get scared of that stuff. Some people get really scared of it, like they can't watch an alien movie. That, well, unless I guess we kill all the aliens, they can watch those, but they sure the hell can't. They're scared of, there's a lot of people scared of everything. Literally scared of everything. I just heard, when I was watching that Carl Vernon, he was just talking about, I'm kicked off Twitter, so I can't see anymore. But I take it as like, okay, it's time to move on. I've got to get focused on something else. You know, I'm trying to organize my shit. So, that they are on there, and they're saying they're never going to give these up. They can't imagine ever not having one on for the rest of their lives. I told you This is turned in, well, it's not only a phobia, but it's turned into, it's like their little safety blanket. Like, I've seen people leave and not have like a baba or whatever. They always have little names, but something that their baby has got to have to feel safe, and they'll fucking melt down. They will freak out. They got to have this thing. And that's what these are turning into for these people. And to me, it's like, well, why wouldn't you, if you were that dependent to feel safe by this, then why would you not want to take control of that? You know, take control of your own fears. Take control of what you want from life. I mean, you want to live being scared of germs? Oh my God, they're not a new thing. You were dealing with them when you were a tiny little baby. And not only that, germs are the perfect thing to take out the weak and the sick. It is like the same way, you know, like an environment has to all stay in balance. You know, germs are, they're a positive thing in our life. And they help us build immunity and stuff like that. And, you know, you saw, well, we didn't see it, and we were told, and we can only, it only makes sense, but who knows, because everything is a fucking lie. But when the missionaries and stuff like that, so if they came from a place that had gone through different illnesses, and then they were going to try and confront these tribal people and tell them, you know, oh, you are not civilized. You have to come with us. We're going to take your kids. We're going to put them in schools. We're going to teach them. You're going to go out. You're going to go work. And then we're going to, you know, all the bullshit. So then they were getting them all sick and killing them because these people didn't have the germs. They didn't have any kind of immune system built up to what these people were carrying. And whole tribes were wiped out at these times. You know, and in that case, germs weren't very good for them. But, you know, we kind of, we don't want to be that isolated, that, that a little germ can come in and kill us, you know. And I think that is a really good proponent or to promote going out and interacting with lots of different people in lots of different places, you know. Don't make your life small. Make your life bigger. Don't be scared of something that's little. Make your life bigger. You have to do that. You have to take control of your brain, of your mind, of your own fears and stuff. That is, you have to get control. What did I say? Oh, it was ruminate, what I was talking about earlier. You get those thoughts that just go. You ruminate. You just go over them and over them and over them and over them. Beat them to fucking death. And those kinds of things, those are what you need to get control of. If you've got, you know, it's like a record player going in there and it gets stuck on some kind of message and it's just going around and around and around and around, get control of it. Take it. However you need to do it. You need to visualize yourself tying the thought up and throwing it away. You just need to go in and cut it off or whatever. You've got to take control of your mind, your thoughts, your emotions and stuff, or they will get out of control. I mean, look how easy they were to control. It's only been a fucking year. You can't go for the rest of you need this on your face for the rest of your life to feel safe. That is, oh, I mean, I don't want to say things to put somebody down, but that is very, very weak-minded thinking, you know, to think that, I mean, what do you do when you have a kid who has become dependent on, you know, carrying their rattle or some blanket or whatever, you know, it becomes just totally worn out and ratty. I mean, at some point, Are they going to carry it into first grade, second grade? Are they going to carry it to the first sleepover? You know, at some point they have to figure out how to feel safe without it, right? Well, that's what people need to do. You've got to figure out how to feel safe. What would your mom do if you were in that place? You know, she would be trying to get you to, you know, let's just leave it at home while we just go to the store. Let's just leave it at, why don't you just leave it in your room while we watch this movie? You know, you get them to do, like, separate little by little. So use techniques like that, you know. However, you got to get yourself to feel safe again, because this is ridiculous. It does not help you. It is only restricting oxygen. It is not, it's not going to keep you healthy and safe at all. It's doing the opposite. And these people that have got the whole freaking boy in the bubble shit, well, when they keel over suddenly, some of us will know why. Others will probably call it, you know, some sort of flu. I don't know. It's just, you know, it's sad to watch people just, I don't know. Is it giving up? Just give up so easily to just, you know, this is life. Now Gator Boy is saying we won't return to normal till the end of 2022. Really? Are you psychic? Or do you have control of this? I'm looking at my TV. Because that motherfucker, you know, I'll create my own normal. You know, maybe we can't go to restaurants like one in England, I guess, that you have to get your vaccinations. You have to have a thing that says you've had them. Then you have to get a test, be cleared negative in that test. Then a couple days later, get another test. Then, if you are negative on that one, you get a couple of days at the pub. Well, I call that control. I don't call that something for my health. I take perfectly good, fine health of myself. I don't need them to tell me how to take care of myself. And besides the fact that they're so wishy-washy with all this stupid bullshit. It's just, none of it adds up. And I don't understand why people don't question it more. They just, you know, accept any... They cannot, they've tricked us into controlling us. You can't really have control of a sovereign being. We are independent beings. We are an energy source inside of an avatar, but we claim this as our sovereign being. This is what I am in control of right now. This, you know, I don't have control over anything out here. I don't have control over what's going to happen with her. I don't have control if my house is going to burn down today. I mean, I could die. But I think that is a set before you're even born. Like you're born with your own expiration date. So, and dying, I've said before, that's a transition. It's not like the end of me. It is the end of this particle of me, this fractal of my being, this story, this, my hair sticking out, like, it's like a fictional character story, you know, of their experience. Well, biographical, really, because it's a real person. I really exist. I really exist because I have an effect on my surroundings, on other people. And so I have an existence. You know what I mean? So, but this character will end, you know, and I'll go develop other characters and live their experiences. And, you know, that adds more into the library of who I am really outside of this, that is presented at this time and place on this planet. You know what I mean? So I don't understand this so much fear. I understand the pain of loss. And, you know, I understand it when I'm like, you know, so, you know, who cares about death to my kids? And they're just like, Mom, I don't want you to die. And they think, you know, I keep hearing that word. It is a French thing, but I can't pull it close enough to say it. But there's like an expression. Yeah, it gets louder, but I can't pull it forward. But yeah, they think I'm just like too like wishy-washy or something. But, you know, I just don't think that we should be fearing it. When I was a kid, I feared what it was going to feel like. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to hurt. Oh. And I'm terrorized by movies where they drag it out. I think that's horrible. But I don't think the ending of this person is a bad thing. I mean, she has to have a beginning and an end to be a conclusion, to be who she is. Otherwise, you are always changing and stuff that would always change. But the bigger part of me will take this part of her to add to them. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting a little too out there for some people to understand what I'm talking about. But it all has to do with, you know, energy and your energy and your combining, like your higher self is still a part of you. And when you start listening, I mean, they're talking loud and clear. They have their fingers in all parts of your life. Sometimes it almost feels like that you're the puppet, that they are really controlling you. And whatever they're telling you, you know, oh, go do this, go do that, or whatever. Like you're the avatar in a video game and they're up there controlling you. Or a puppet, you know. But that it's all coming from them. And it's when you're not connected to them that you feel like it's all coming from out there. But I don't see it that way. I see it a lot more like, you know, how much control do I even have? Or am I just my higher self playing around, playing this part, trying on, you know, like sometimes I like to go in and try on clothes and come up with outfits. I've got a whole little section in my closet right now of outfits that are like, well, it's hard for me to remember anyways, I swear to God. I can get clothes out of the dryer. Oh, I got to put clothes in the dryer. I can get clothes out of the dryer and I don't even remember how I put them together. It's like, oh, I think I've talked about it before because I think I need granimals or something. I probably need a lot of things, honestly. But whatever. I'm happy. Stella's happy. She's snoozing away. I didn't even give her any medicine today. And she was snoozing away last night too. There was another thing I wanted to say. There's always another thing. As soon as I finish and I start downloading, I'll be like, oh, that's what I wanted to say. Oh, I wanted to say that too. Oh, I should have said that. But I guess that's probably why all of mine just kind of run into the other one. I keep watching the time. It's already 39. My other one was fucking 103 or something. 103 or 106. I don't know. That was long. So I probably shouldn't make this one as long. And people are going to start going like, boy, that poor girl. She's really lonely. Somebody really needs to get her out of the house. And 2022, sorry dude, that's not happening. People are gonna fucking get their shit together way before that. I say that things are gonna start changing, but there is these people, they're gonna be out there for a while. There's going to be some people who are real scared of shit. Just because even once they know rationally what is going on, there's still fear is something you have to actually conquer. You have to overcome it. You have to fight it like it's a beast inside of you. You know, it will eat you up. It will take over your life. Like, it will destroy you. So, okay. Can't let anybody know I'm too lonely. So I should probably stop talking. I'm gonna fix my hair first so I can leave it on a, I don't know. I don't know if it ever looks okay. Okay, so again, have a great day. It's been still sunny, but it's fucking freezing. Well, it's not really freezing. It's like in the early 40s or low 40s, but it feels like it's in its 20s or something. And Stella keeps trying to drag me out. It's like, girl, I've got nothing to do out there. I'm gonna go just sit outside and freeze to death. I'm sitting in here on a hot pad. I've got my heat up. I'm about to turn the damn oven on. I hardly have any firewood left now. Especially because I was sharing it with those people. But I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about that. Okay, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.